All right. Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to another Urban Legend live stream. Tonight, we have Washington, we have Idaho, and we have Montana. So tonight's about to be fun.
Yep.
And at 11, Nubs has his react stream
To go
for
get them.
Go Get 'em Paranormal.
Yep. Don't want to miss that.
So, we're going to start off tonight with the top 8 urban legends from Washington. But before we get into that, we got a little bit of breaking news. This Saturday, me and Nubs have an investigation. We are going back to the Sling Blade house.
This is my first time there, but
This place, the last time me and Rob went to, was absolutely insane. We caught Zozo. We caught another demon. I forgot that name, but we are going back to the Sling Blade house. I am so freaking excited. And then next week is good old St. Albans.
Saint freaking Albans.
And then on February 26th, we have the Graffiti House.
So we got a bunch of
That
epic.
is a Civil War hospital slash museum and also a battlefield site. So
Y'all got
and the Graffiti House, they sent me a ton of information today through an article, and oh boy, I'm gonna have to do a whole live stream just on this because it's a whole lot of history. So let's go ahead and jump right on into see what Washington has to offer tonight.
Saint
St.
Albans,
Albans is actually in
Virginia.
Virginia. It's like 3 hours from us.
Yeah,
The
I
old
know there's
insane
Vermont
asylum,
though.
mental hospital, sanatorium, whatever you want to call it.
No, there's a Saint Albans, Vermont, like
Oh,
state, not a state, but a city in Vermont, I think.
okay. Now this is an actual haunted place. This ain't no city town. No. So, like I said, let's see what Washington has to offer with these 8 creepy urban legends. Number 1, Maltby's 13 Steps.
Ooh.
Maltby Cemetery became a popular place for teens and curious adults to visit years ago. There were 13 steps starting at ground level, descending into the ground, leading to the back entrance of the tomb of a wealthy family. Supposedly, teens would dare each other to go down the stairs, touch the door to the tomb, and come back. But when the unlucky person turned around after completing the dare, he or she would get a terrifying glimpse of something. Some people were so traumatized they were left unable to speak. The steps have been covered up and no trespassing signs cover the cemetery wall to wall to discourage people from trying to find them. Whew. Number 2 is the Mariner High School Eyes.
Ooh.
Now, this sounds creepy. Mariner High School in Everett, Washington has its own urban legend. Many of the lights are left on at night, but around midnight on some nights they shut off completely. If you're close enough, you might see eyes staring back at you from inside the school. All you can see are a pair of subtle glowing eyes. Some sources claim that if you stare at the eyes long enough, you can make out a figure of a winged man.
Hmm.
Youch! Alright. Nubs, you trying to be me now?
Oh yeah, it does pop up as you, don't it? I forgot.
Yep. It's
Forgot
alright.
about that.
Yep. Go ahead and share this out if you haven't already. Try to get some more people up in here. Because we're going to try to go for an hour tonight because I need my watch hours.
Yes, he does.
Number 3, we got Mel's Hole. Legend has it that there is a bottomless pit near Manistash Ridge in Ellensburg. It is called Mel's Hole because a man who called himself Mel Waters was the first person to report its existence. There are a lot of strange stories involving the pit. Supposedly, a man threw his dig dog in it only to see the dog go trotting by, very much alive a few hours later. No credible evidence of Mel's Hole exists, but it has never been disproven.
Hmm.
Number 4 is Dryden Hall on the Eastern Washington University's campus.
Interesting.
Dryden Hall opened in 1965, and since then, people have reported seeing a mysterious screaming face on the outer wall of the north wing. At first, groundskeeper assumed it was a trick of the building's exterior lights, but no matter how many times the position of the lights was changed, the face still appeared. What is up, Josh?
Josh.
What is going on? How are you doing tonight?
Welcome to Urban Legend Tuesday. We got
Yeah.
2 more left.
Number 5 is Nubs's deal right here. UFOs at Mount Rainier. On June
Ooh.
24th of 1947, a pilot named Kenneth Arnold saw some shiny objects over the top of the Cascades near Mount Rainier. The UFO story stood out because Arnold was such a credible witness and his story was so detailed. And it all happened just 2 weeks before the U.S. Army issued a report of a crashed saucer in Roswell.
Hmm. That is
Number
interesting.
6, the Faceless Roamer. I've
Thank you,
already
brother.
had my dinner. Y'all don't want to know what that was.
A bunch of McDonald's.
A bunch of McDonald's. I still got some left. All right, let's go. Number 6, the Faceless Roamer. The city of Auburn was originally called Slaughter. A wealthy man who made his home there once sold some property to help contribute to the city's growth. Rumor has it that his ghost, which is faceless for some reason, can be seen angrily walking up and down a street downtown, passing through walls.
That's awesome.
And number 7 is the infamous that all of us know, Bigfoot. Washington isn't the only state to lay claim to Bigfoot, but there have been many more Sasquatch sightings here than anywhere else in the U.S.
Yeah.
Wow. Number 8, the Indian Princess of Pike Place Market.
That's just a tongue twister.
Every now and then, people will see an old Native American woman at Pike Place Market who sits with woven baskets on a blanket for sale, but when they get closer, the woman disappears.
But
That
okay, well,
woman is the ghost of Princess Angeline. Kiki Slublu was her real name, the daughter of Chief Seattle himself. She once lived in a cabin between Pike and Pine Streets, and apparently she stayed close to home. What is up, KY? Just seen you pop in there. What's up? And that is going to conclude the top 8 urban legends from Washington. Now, Nubs is going to go with, I think,
the
Idaho.
top 7 urban legends of Idaho. Number 1 is Coyote and the 7 Devils.
Ooh.
The 7 Devils form a portion of Idaho-Oregon border, as well as line our most Treasured River Canyon, Hell's Canyon. The Nez Perce in particular had organ stories from nearly every feature of Idaho's landscape, and the story of the seven devils is a unique one. Many years ago, there were seven children eating giant brothers. Hang on. There were seven children eating giant brothers who lived in the horizon. Okay. I had it right. It was just a little tongue twister. The people were terrified of these giants. They sent a word to Coyote to help them defeat the giants and save their children. Hey, Rain.
What's up,
Coyote
Rain?
knew he couldn't battle seven giants at once, as he dug seven massive holes in the earth and filled them with boiling liquid. As the giants were traveling east to snatch more children, they tripped into the holes and were trapped. As they struggled to free themselves, they scattered the hot liquid as far as the eye could see. Coyote then was able to transform the giants into stone, and he opened up a canyon at their feet to keep them from ever reaching the villages again. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Number two, Charlie, a Paeti Lake legend. McCall Charlie, who was named via a newspaper contest in the 50s, who was reported to be between 10 to 50 feet long, brownish green, and travels in serpent like waves, rising and falling out of the water. But this gentle beastie gardener nothing but love from locals who couldn't seem to recall an incident where Charlie attacked anyone on the lakeside residence. Oh, nice, dropping the graffiti stuff. But that's pretty cool. Number three, Lake Penn Oil Paddler. This deep ocean like lake in northern Idaho is the perfect local for a monstrous beast to reside. Large, gray, and prehistoric in shape and size, locals claim that he is an unknown remnant of the Jurassic area that has managed to survive extinction against all odds. Until this point, the paddler had been remained a peaceful part of local lore, although many say the sightings of the sea creature were merely glimpses of the Nava training station top secret submarine and technology testing. Okay. Number four, massive rock water babies. Depending on the story, a water baby is a spirit or monster traditionally seen as a Native American bred urban legend of small like children creatures living in the waters or reservations around the western US. They are tricksters whose goal is murder. I mean, that doesn't seem really tricky to me. That just seems evil.
Hmm.
Number five, the Bear Lake Monster. There's a lot of lakes monsters types in Idaho. The legend of the Bear Lake Monster originally grew from articles written in the 20th century by Joseph C. Rich, a Mormon colonizer who recorded secondhand account sightings of the creature. Just recently, a 25-foot decomposed carcass was found outside of the Utah shore of the lake, and many locals are convinced that this water devil somehow met its ultimate end after hundreds of years of sightings and attacks. That's pretty crazy. And here comes another lake one. Spirit Lake origins. Spirit Lake name is no mystery to those who live there. Years ago, a young Native American woman being in a relationship with a brave from a rival tribe, unable to wed but determined to pursue their doomed love. The two tied their wrists together in symbiotic marriage and jumped off Suicide Cliff into the lake. On moonlights, you can still see their shadowy spirits drifting across the lake in a phantom canoe, while
Hmm.
mournful sounds fill the area. as the Indian lovers seek release from their watery grave. Interesting. And number 7, the urban legend of Idaho. To many, Idaho is simple and urban legend, much like the idea that the earth is round. In fact, the general consensus of outsiders is that Idaho was put on the map because cartographers needed a barrier to separate Utah from Canada and Montana from Washington or vice versa. That's interesting. You want to do Montana?
Yep, I got you. So now we're gonna head to the top 6 urban legends from Montana. What's up, Michigander man? Oh, what happened? There we go. I don't like this new thing StreamYard does.
I know it's weird.
Alright, so let's start off with number 1, the Airport Road Ghost Jogger.
That's a
Rumor
tough.
has it that if you drive down Airport Road at night, you'll see a spectral runner or a ghost jogger, some say. It's the spirit of a man who was hit by a truck while on a run. Others chalk it up to steam rising off the pavement. Number 2 is the Moss Mansion Ghost. The Billings Mansion is rumored to be haunted by Virginia Moss, the daughter of the original owner, P.B. Moss. Virginia died of the diphtheria at age 5. Number 3 is the Flathead Lake Monster. The Flathead Lake Monster is an animal that allegedly lives in Flathead Lake, possibly the same kind as the Loch Ness Monster. The first documented sighting was in 1889, and there have been many more since. Number
Okay.
4 is the Sacrifice Cliff. Legend has it that during a smallpox epidemic amongst the Crow tribe in the 19th century, 2 boys rode a white horse off a cliff to sacrifice themselves to save their tribe from the disease.
Hmm.
Number 5, the Hitchhiker of Black Horse Lake. If you drive on Highway 87 just above Great Falls on the way to Benton, beware. Drivers have reported a Native American man suddenly rolling onto their windshield as if he had just been hit by a car. When the drivers pull over and get out of the car, no one is there and their cars are free from damage. Legend has it that it is the ghost of a hitchhiker who was hit by a car over 45 years ago. Number 6, and to wrap it up for tonight, the ghosts of Little Bighorn Battlefield. The Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1875 was a complete massacre of the 7th U.S. Cavalry. Sometimes people hear strange sounds when they visit the battlefield memorial. There have been reports of visitors hearing screams, yelling, gunshots, and even the sounds of horses. One theory is that this is a recording that is played back to those lucky enough to witness. So much energy was expended during the violent battle that it made an impression on the land, much like a tape recorder when the tape is played back under the right conditions.
Hmm.
And
Nice.
that is the top 6 urban legends for the state of Montana.
So next week, guys, is the last week of urban legends for the USA. We got California, Nevada, and Oregon. Those are the last 3 states, and then we're gonna work. Y'all let us know what urban legend where we should do next. Canada, Mexico, UK. Y'all let us know where we should go next.
Japan, England, Britain, London,
Yeah.
whatever y'all want to see.
Yeah,
But
well,
to continue off this stream, I'm going to show
okay.
y'all a couple pictures from where we are going next Saturday at St. Albans. If y'all have not seen
Woohoo.
some pictures, I'm going to show y'all some pictures here. I got a few pictures. And let's start. The first picture y'all are going to see is the outside of the building. If it'll pop up here, there it is. There's the front of the building.
Is that the second most haunted place in Virginia?
Yeah, on
Okay.
this list, I don't know.
I thought it was the number one haunted.
But, and then here's a picture of St. Albans when they very first opened back in whenever they opened.
This is our biggest
Sometime
investigation
way
yet.
back. And this is the electroshock therapy room, which is a hot spot for paranormal activity. Definitely going to be an investigation in this room.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the infamous bowling alley in the basement.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest hotspot.
There we go. That is the biggest hotspot of them all. Two young girls are said to haunt this basement or bowling alley.
One died on the campus of Radford, and one died legit
Yeah,
on the
I think
property of
I
St.
think
Albans.
one of the girls was actually a patient.
One of the girls was a patient, the other one was a student on St. Radford.
And then this is a staircase where a lot of orbs and shadow figures have been reported. And this is the whistle room. This is another hot spot of activity. And here's the infamous boiler room.
Oh, yeah.
Another hot spot. And that is all the pictures I got for St. Albans. So now we're gonna go check out. I'll show you guys. I'll pull up this article on the graffiti house.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know much about the graffiti house. I've heard of it, but
Let's go see what we can find.
St. Albans. Whew.
Y'all might get a little bit of echo here while I try to mute this real quick so I can find. This is from the Graffiti House website. Let's pull this thing up here. Alright, as you can see, here's a lot of the history. The Graffiti House was believed to have been built back in 1858. Says the graffiti could have been made by soldiers recuperating in the hospital or by other soldiers posted at Brandy Station or passing through the town. This place does have a lot of graffiti. And let me show you the picture. This was the graffiti house during the time of the Civil War. And now, look at it. That's it today. A lot have changed.
Oh, yeah.
But it says, let's see, let's keep reading. Yeah. It says the building was owned by James Barber during the Civil War. Let's see. This is the likely the first time that the graffiti house was used as a hospital when after the first battle of Manassas in July 21st of 1861, when the casualties of the Confederate were brought by train.
Mm.
And let's see. Commander of the Louisiana Tigers, Major Wheat, requested that Barber change the name of his home to Beauregard in honor of Confederate General Pierre G.T. Beauregard, who directed the Battle of First Manassas. He also served on the staff of Richard S. Ewell during the most prominent of the various battles fought at Brandy Station on June 9th, 1863, which is actually on the property of the graffiti house. Robert
Ooh.
E. Lee also and Ewell observed part of the action, including a Federal cavalry charge that almost made it to the house. The earliest date that thus far deciphered and that is still present on the graffiti house walls is for mid-April of 1863. At the time, Federal cavalry crossed the Rappahannock River at Beverly's Ford. The house has recently been renovated, as you can see. It is also the headquarters of the Brandy Station Foundation.
Mm.
So, a lot of history for this place. But that's gonna wrap up a little bit of pictures for St. Albans and the graffiti house. Let's see. We're at the 27-minute mark. I'm gonna try to find something else that we could talk about tonight. Um, let's start searching. Wildest. Let's see. Wildest moments of the wildest moments of the 1800s.
Mm. Interesting.
All right, here we go. 15 ways the 1800s were straight up horrifying. Number 15. Kids died all the time. Number 14. In fact, people died all the time.
True.
Okay, this is it. All right, let's find something different. That was eight.
I cannot wait, man. St. Albans. 2 weeks, man.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. 9 of the USA's most bizarre traditions. Now this should be interesting. Well, it's got all the traditions that we already know about. Oh, I just want to find something that's interesting.
I'm about to get off here and go eat myself. Um,
Yeah, I can't find anything that'd be interesting. There we go. We'll talk about this. Uh, the 6 best satanic cults in the history.
hey BFF
Hey, what's
Deanna.
up, Deanna? So this is number 6 is already about to get wild. Number 6 is called the Poison Affair. In the 1600s in France, some woman tries to poison her family in order to come into her inheritance. She was caught and killed. This is common enough occurrence, but for some reason this time aristocratic France get spooked. Possible poisoners are dragged from their houses and questioned, tortured, and killed. One of these poisoners is a midwife at the court of Louis the something. The interrogators are gentler than most. They get her drunk. She claims that the king's mistress attends black masses and casts spells in order to keep the king's love.
Hmm.
Word spreads that they are named as invertebrate black masters. It looks like the Sun King's court was just one big satanic cult. Oh lordy. Number 4. Skip number 5 because it talks about Satan sponsors. Number 4 is the Church of Satan. This is probably the most well-known establishment when it comes to Satanism. Founded in 1966 by Aunt LaVey, the Church of Satan maintains offices, not dark pits near graveyards. People can buy a basic membership but need to become active within the satanic community to be considered active members or work their way up to priest or priestess positions. The, sat-
Interesting.
the satanic panic actually gave the church a boost as members were in demand to come on TV and either answer and debunk satanic rituals, abuse myths. The church itself came out of the panic looking clean. The FBI even stated that the church was not involved in any criminal activity.
Hmm.
All right, guys. Well, I'm trying to find something interesting, but it's not working. So we might just go ahead and call it right here tonight.
Yeah, I do kind of have to get off. I'm about to go eat.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna call it. But Nubs does have a stream, like I said at the beginning, at 11 p.m. for Go Get 'em Paranormal.
Hopefully, my internet works to where y'all can hear the sound tonight.
We would love if y'all would stop by and join us tonight. That's gonna be a nice react. What? Which one is this? Like episode 40?
Episode 35.
35? Okay.
Yep, I got through episode 46 of
Yeah.
season 1. And then season 2, I already got 2 epic content creator. I got Unknown Ventures and Rooted Expeditions, who says I can review their channel. So
And that'll be tonight at 11 o'clock. So we hope to see you guys in just about 2 hours over on Nubs' channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream, and we will see you next week.
later, fam.